What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video on DC Future States. And today we're checking out Nightwing number 2, written by Andrew Constant and drawn by Nicola Scott. Now, in this issue, we're going to see Nightwing and the next Batman team up against the Magistrates. More accurately, Peacekeeper 06. So yeah, guys, it's going to be a lot of action and a really cool ending. So yeah, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this issue. Outside of Arkham Asylum, Jackal News reporter Michael Johnson has an exclusive breaking story. He says, "We're here with Peacekeeper 06 and the Magistrates as they launch an assault on the secret fortress of Nightwing, the leader of the masked terrorist. Peacekeeper, for too long this monster and his thugs have brutalized our city. How do you and your brave troops plan on taking down such a dangerous criminal?" Peacekeeper 06 looks up and says, "With the only method that works for his kind, without mercy." The news reporter looks at the screen and says, "God bless you and the Magistrates. You are all true patriots." The next Batman says, "This isn't being broadcast right now." Nightwing responds, "When it is, it'll be presented as though it's alive, for authenticity." Now the next Batman responds, "Nothing like having your own fastest TV network to really get the propaganda out there. I hear the Mia Mongol that Peacekeeper 06 bought it off of was happy it was going to a good home." Now, Nightwing goes to the computer and says, "Break me in my base publicly, humiliate me, turn me into a show. It's why they tracked me here rather than take me on in the streets. Yeah, here, a victory can be total." Now, the next Batman says, "They've come well equipped and in numbers." Nightwing looks at the screen and says, as expected, "Let's get calling." That's when we hear a whoosh, and we see outside that this barrier is going through where Peacekeeper 06 and the news reporters and all the different officers are. And what it does is it takes down all of the different cameras and everything that helps the media. So it eliminates all this media coverage of the events. Now, the news reporter says, "My camera, how am I going to, what the hell was that?" And Peacekeeper 06 looks up and says, "EMP blast." Now, Nightwing back inside Arkham Asylum says, "EMP blast, a powerful one, can get through most shielding, should take out any other cameras and most of their tech for good, and their cybers and tanks, for a little while at least." Now, Tim Fox says, "So what's next?" Nightwing says, "Next, simple, you're leaving." Now, Tim Fox is surprised. He says, "What?" And Nightwing pulls out a tray and gets his Scrima sticks. He says, "The blast will give a person of your abilities enough coverage to slip out. But I'd hurry if I were you. The amount of energy that EMP uses means it's a one done." Now that's when Tim Fox grabs Nightwing by the wrist and says, "No, Nightwing, this isn't going to work. Why are you trying to protect me? I chose to find you or come here to prove myself to you. I chose this life." Now, Nightwing responds, "What I've got planned for tonight, the risk versus reward ratio is tight, even by our standards. If I don't live to see another day, Gotham should have at least one of us. It needs a Batman." And Tim Fox responds, "Thank you. But from what I understand, Batman decides who in Gotham needs his help. And right now, that's you, okay?" Now, Nightwing says, "Well, dynamic duo it is then." We see Nightwing and the next Batman walking out into battle. We see both of them jump out and just start dismantling all these Magistrate officers. Like, Nightwing kicks him in the face, Tim Fox, the next Batman, knees him in the face. They really take these officers down in like a couple seconds. Nightwing walks over to one of the officers, beating on the floor. He pulls off the officer's helmets and says, "What were your orders?" The officer responds, "Shoot to kill." Now, Nightwing says, "Under what conditions? What if we surrendered?" And the officer says, "Any conditions." Now, that's when Tim Fox says, "Those were some interesting, unnecessary questions." And Nightwing responds, "I have my reasons." And Tim Fox, the next Batman, says, "I'm shocked, part of the unknown plan." And Nightwing says, "That's real. That was supposed to be a last resort. Move!" We see a blast that was going to kill the next Batman, but Nightwing got him out of the way just in time. New officers walk in. They say, "Contact, Alpha's down." Now, Nightwing attacks. He says, "Finish this discussion later." The next Batman responds, "Rain check." And Nightwing says, for now, keep hurrying them. Keep making this siege a nightmare for the magistrates. We go outside Arkham Asylum, and one of the officers say, the squad should be back by now, but with comms still out, and Peacekeeper 06 cuts him off, saying, tank's back online. And that's when the officer responds, yes, Peacekeeper 06. Weapon systems and automated pilot programs are up and running. Now, Peacekeeper 06 responds, fire missiles. And the officer says, but our soldiers are still... And Peacekeeper 06 cuts him off again, saying, don't! The most important lesson my life has taught me. Nothing trumps stopping this scum. Fire! We see these cannons just fire. We are thum-a-thum and that ba-ba-ba-boom. As all of Arkham Asylum just begins to explode. Now, Peacekeeper 06 looks at the fire and says, doesn't that look beautiful? And the officer says, the cybers are also now functional, Captain. And Peacekeeper 06 says, good, they can collect the bodies after I'm done. Fire again, but that's when Peacekeeper 06 is hit in the face. She looks to the side and sees Batgirl. Batgirl says, please, stop, pretty please. And we see the resistance in front of Peacekeeper 06. Huntress, Cassandra Cain Batgirl, Talia al Ghul, Barbara Gordon Oracle, Two-Face, Robin, Tim Drake, Man-Bats, and Batwoman. They all attack. And we see this huge fight that breaks off. Things begin to pop off from here, and it's awesome. Nightwing sees this from inside Arkham Asylum and he says, no, why are they here? And the next Batman responds, I called them. I'm good with computers, including yours. Nightwing then says, didn't you hear what I said? The risk, it was not part of the plan. It was not your decision to make. Now, the next Batman steps up. He says, I did hear. I also heard what you said about Gotham needing Batman. It needs Batman just as much as its heroes need Nightwing. We're leaving now. Now we shift back to the fight and we see the Bat family, or the Resistance you could say, taking down all these different officers. And that's when Oracle says, rescue mission is almost over, people. The growly bat-esque voice in my ear tells me it's time to move out. Now Peacekeeper 06 walks up to Barbara Gordon saying, I am going to flay the skin off your bones and turn it into a warm winter coat and use your eyes as buttons. Did you think we weren't prepared for you and your scum showing up? Now, Barbara Gordon responds, from what I see, you weren't even close. Going after our leader is a great motivator. Hey, do you mind if he joins us? Now, I'm more of a motorbike person, but he's dying to show off his new car. We see the next Batman, Nightwing, drive off in this slick new Nightwing type car. It looks really cool. They drive through and Peacekeeper 06 then shouts, no, all the scum are. Now the news reporter then says, you idiot. I got no footage. The story's escaping. You just got your butt kicked. What am I going to tell the network? And Peacekeeper 06 grabs the news reporter by the neck and says nothing. What vehicles are still running? The officer responds, just yours, Peacekeeper. And Peacekeeper 06 says, get it. Now they're going after Nightwing and Tim Fox, the next Batman, because they just drove off out of Arkham Asylum. They switch to Nightwing and the next Batman in the car. And Batman says, nice ride. Nightwing responds, I've been tinkering with it for a while. Now Batman responds, where are we headed? And Nightwing says, to a safe house in Bloodhaven that served the Resistance well. Now Batman responds, I'm sorry, but I had to contact them. If they had lost their leader after already losing, Nightwing cuts him off saying, him, yeah, it would have been bad. You did the right thing. Losing my hero made me overprotective of heroes who clearly don't need me to be. And that's when Batman looks at Nightwing saying, does this mean I'm in your little club? And Nightwing smiles saying, you're not out. Let's start there. Hopefully I got enough of what I was after. Now that's when the next Batman responds saying, which is what? Exactly. For a moment I thought it might have been revenge, but that's when we hear a crack-oom as the car is crashed into by a Magistrate mobile. The car flips over and Nightwing tries to get out, but Peacekeeper 06 shows up. She says, be still, my being mechanical hearts. Look at the killer pair I've drawn, the little prince and the pretender. We had no idea you were working together. This almost makes up for the rest of the nights. Almost. That's when Peacekeeper 06 goes to attack. Nightwing says, watch out for her arms. And Batman says, what do they do? And Nightwing says, they punch really hard. They also catch. We see Peacekeeper 06 grab Nightwing and the next Batman, by their ankles and throw them to the ground. And Peacekeeper 06 gets on top of the next Batman. She says, "My arm's destroyed too, all the flying rodents the city is plagued by." That's when Nightwing shocks Peacekeeper 06 with his Eskrima sticks. He says, "Elizabeth Marcus, the ultimate hypocrite. Your records, your identity were expunged from everything. Evidence suggests it was a favor from Peacekeeper 01. Both your parents were brutally murdered when you're 14 years old. You were the only witness." Now, Nightwing puts his two Eskrima sticks together. They clash, and you see this electric blast. Now, Nightwing says, "You were too traumatized to give a full account to police. They were able to glean from you that the attacker wore a purple suit and had a laugh that must have come from hell. I know what it is to see your family destroyed, to lose the people you love the most. We're not the villains you want us to be, Elizabeth." Now, Peacekeeper 06 shouts, "Villains? Heroes? Mask? You're all the same. You're all just scum. Scum that needs to be cleansed from our lives. Just like what we did to your Batman." Nightwing hits his two Eskrima sticks together. He says, "You're wrong, Marks. You'll never stop Batman. Batman's Gotham. Batman's forever." Peacekeeper 06 and Nightwing go to collide. Peacekeeper 06 says, "Come on then. Time to join your dead king." Nightwing throws Peacekeeper 06 to the ground. Peacekeeper 06 says, "You're going to take my life now, aren't you? Vengeance for your bats I helped kill? Do it. But now I'll just be replaced. Tomorrow, there are so many more like me. The Magistrate will win." Nightwing then says, "I don't want your death. I don't want a martyr. I want your reputation, yours and the Magistrate's." News crew reveal. Nanoswarm camera, silent, visible, and totally EMP proof. Not true nanotech, like the tracing agent your sniper shot me with, but I think the name fits. I've been tinkering with them for a while. They've been recording everything that's happened tonight from Arkham to now. Every terrible thing you and your soldiers have said or done, and everything you've lost. Raw, unedited, unspinnable failure. Now, that's what the next Batman says. Total victory, huh? Now, Peacekeeper 06 says, "You can't! Don't!" And Nightwing pretty much gives her like a peace sign. He's like, "Peace out." And he says, "I'll send you an invite to the premiere." Now, the next Batman and Nightwing begin to walk away. The next Batman says, "Some very big moves. Well done." Nightwing responds, "Big moves are how we're going to defeat the Magistrates. Gotham's media is bought and paid for, but there are others." Nightwing begins to fall to the ground, but Batman catches him. He says, "Got you. You had redundancies." Now, Nightwing says, "If I had died, the footage would have been automatically released, and my systems at Arkham have already been wiped." Now, Batman says, "Thorough." And Nightwing says, "I was taught well." Huh, that's a surprise. And Batman says, And that's when Nightwing looks up. He says, "Morning, another day." Nightwing and the next Batman walk out into the morning. This night is done, but they'll keep fighting every night to take back Gotham from the Magistrates. And that's how he ends Future State's Nightwing. So that was Future State's Nightwing #2, and I really enjoyed this issue. Andrew Constant's writing was really strong. How he portrayed Nightwing was really cool. I really liked Dick Grayson, the story, how he's kind of a hero, but he's fine with laying on the line, like giving a sacrifice. That was really cool. And his interactions with the next Batman, Tim Fox, were very entertaining, and those final few scenes were really strong. I really liked it. Now, also seeing the Bat family show up, like the whole Resistance, was really dope. Like seeing Huntress, Oracle, we see Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, we see Tim Fox, Robin, like it was just so cool. It felt like things were coming together, and that's great. Like, it shows some payoff. And seeing them all together taking on the Magistrate was a really epic moment. And guys, I'll say again, Nightwing and the next Batman's interactions, their whole team up, seeing them in like a Nightwing type car, seeing them go up against like Peacekeeper 06, there's a lot of great action in this issue, and a lot of amazing moments. And yes, Peacekeeper 06 isn't the greatest villain, she's kind of generic, but she doesn't bring down the story too much at all. I really enjoyed the story. I felt like this issue was better than the first, because I really feel like that interactions between the new Batman and Nightwing, who is in a way like the son of Batman, like his first prodigy, or his first sidekick, it's cool. Like, it's not like a super new idea, but it's just done so well. It's executed so well here. And the artwork by Nicola Scott is amazing, guys. How she draws Nightwing, how she draws the action sequences, all the settings, all the facial expressions in this issue are phenomenal. So yeah, guys, another great issue, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend it if you want a great Nightwing story, if you want a cool Bat family story, or if you just want an entertaining, action-packed issue, then check this out, guys. But yeah, if you liked the video, give a big thumbs up, new channel, make sure to subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next DC Future States video. And yeah, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. What would you rate from 1 to 10? And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.